friend and loyal reader of Skeptophilia sent me a link that I knew was going to be good before I even opened it, because I saw that it was from a site called The Daily Vibes. First, one of my pet peeves is the way people use words like vibration and frequency to mean basically any damn thing they want. And I figured that given the title of the site, we probably were in for a lot of that stuff. But I became even more excited when I looked at the homepage and saw the list of topics that they covered, which included: what does your zodiac sign reveal about your innermost thoughts? How you sit can reveal your personality. 5 gemstones traditionally used to clear negative energies. 5 ways crying makes you stronger. Have you seen a feather tattoo? Here's what it can mean. So I started reading the posts, and I very quickly ran into a troubling problem. What if the way you sit gives you exactly the opposite answer to your zodiac sign? Because I found out that the way I sit means that I'm outgoing, dynamic, dress well, have high aspirations, and don't like criticism. My zodiac sign, on the other hand, means that I'm mysterious, moody, secretive, hard to get to know. So, am I both? Or somewhere in the middle? At the moment, I'm confused as to whether I should go out more and schmooze with people, or just sit in the corner wearing a black cloak, and when people look over at me, give them a meaningful raised eyebrow. Then I had to give a look at the one on crying, because I'm one of those people that it doesn't take much to launch into a complete tear-orama. For example, my wife was at an art show a few weekends ago, and I decided to sit on the couch with my dog, drink a glass of wine, and watch Doctor Who. What I chose to watch was an episode called The Girl in the Fireplace, which I'd seen before. And the result was I ended up hugging my dog and sobbing into my wine glass. Okay, it's a pretty sad episode. But like I said, I'd seen it before. I knew what the end was. You'd think I'd be immunized about it. But no, there I sat, blubbering like an idiot. At least my dog understood. So naturally, I was interested in what the Daily Vibe had to say about people who cry a lot. And I found out that because I cry a lot, I don't care what other people think of me, and I'm very brave. And I also found that crying relieves stress, gets rid of pent-up energy, and replaces your negative emotions with positive ones. In fact, in the Daily Vibe, we're told that it does this almost as effectively as sex does. So the next time your significant other is feeling amorous, you should turn to them and say, "Not now, honey. I think I'd prefer to have a nice long cry." Oh yeah, and if you have a feather tattoo, you're strong, independent, courageous, and value freedom. Anyhow, all of this is sort of beside the point, because the reason my friend sent me the link was because of an article called 5 Ways to Know If Your Deceased Loved Ones Are Trying to Get a Hold of You. So naturally, I was curious about what signs they thought were indicators that Grandma Bertha was still hanging around. And I'm sure you're curious about it too. So without further ado, we have number 1, animals acting strangely. If this is true, it would mean that my house has been continuously haunted for years, because in my experience, all of our pets act oddly kind of all the time. For example, a few weeks ago, our hound, Lena, was yapping and dancing around and barking outside, and I went outside to see what she'd found, thinking maybe she'd cornered a possum or something. But no, what she was barking at was a stick. Now, to be fair, it was a pretty threatening-looking stick, but still. Then number 2 is poltergeist activity. I hear bumps and creaks in our house all the time, but I think that it's for 2 reasons. One is it's an old house, and 2, there's a family of squirrels that we have been unable to evict from our attic. So I think this one would have to be in the no column for me. Number 3 is electronics acting up. I've been halfway convinced for a long time that my mere presence causes electronics to malfunction. For example, my school computer frequently decided it didn't want to work anymore, and then it would draw X's over all of my documents. The only solution was to restart it, which then took 15 minutes to reboot because my computer was powered by a single hamster running in a wheel. It's kind of a relief to find out that this is caused by ghosts, because I was beginning to think I was just kind of a techno-idiot. Number 4 is vivid dreams. This one is also in the yes column for me. Just last night I woke up from a sound sleep because I was dreaming that I was being attacked by a giant flock of owls. If this is being caused by Grandma Bertha, I really wish she'd lay off because I need my sleep. And number 5 is extrasensory perception. For this one, the site says, ESP is a pretty wide umbrella in terms of definition. It can mean a bunch of different things. But in this case, it's as if the spirits in our lives put ideas in our heads before we can have them. Well, I'm always coming up with strange ideas, which is why I'm an author. That way I can write down my bizarre ideas and people actually pay me for them. But I don't think it's ESP. It might be, as one of my friends suggested, that I was dropped on my head as a baby. So the checklist for whether our house is haunted generates mixed results, as I expected. Myself, I don't think it's haunted, but it bears mention that my younger son claims that he used to see a shadowy figure lurking about in the basement. Maybe that was Grandma Bertha, I don't know. If it is, I wish she'd stop oozing about the place and stop and give me her recipe for chocolate fudge, which I've been trying for years unsuccessfully to duplicate. But I need to wrap this up because Lena's barking again, and maybe another vicious stick is launching an attack at her. You know how it goes. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. Our resources are down there, and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks.